Long ago, in a quiet little town, there lived a young goldsmith named Omar. He didn't have much money, but his hands were blessed with a rare skill, and he loved his work more than anything in the world. Each day he would sit in his humble shop, mending broken necklaces and polishing old heirlooms for the townspeople. His earnings were modest, just enough to buy bread for himself and his elderly mother, but his heart was full. One evening, just as the sun was setting, casting a golden glow over his shop, an elegant man stepped inside. The man was dressed in fine clothes, but his face was etched with sadness. In his hand he held a single golden ring. It was a masterpiece of craftsmanship, with intricate carvings swirling around the band. But a deep crack ran right down the middle, as if the ring itself had a broken heart. The man's voice was soft when he spoke. "This ring," he said, "it belonged to my late wife. It's all I have left of her. Can you fix it for me?" Omar took the ring and examined it with the gentle touch of a true artist. He saw not just the damage, but the love and memories embedded in the gold. He looked up at the man and nodded. "It will take a few days," Omar said confidently, "but I will do my absolute best to make it whole again." The man's eyes showed a flicker of hope. He left the ring in Omar's care, promising to return soon. From that moment on, Omar poured all his energy and skill into restoring the ring. He worked day and night, his small workshop illuminated by the glow of his forge. He carefully melted tiny fragments of gold, skillfully weaving them into the crack. He reshaped the band, polished every curve, and buffed every surface until the ring shone with a brilliance that rivaled the stars. It looked as if it had never been broken, a perfect, unbroken circle once more. But fate, as it often does, had a different plan. Before the elegant man could return, a terrible fire swept through the town's marketplace. Flames devoured everything in their path, turning wooden stalls and dreams into ash. Omar's small shop was caught in the inferno and was burned completely to the ground. In the chaos and panic, Omar barely managed to escape with his life. As he ran from the encroaching flames, his hand instinctively clutched the only thing he had managed to save, the precious golden ring, safe in his pocket. Days turned into weeks. The elegant man, whose name was Yusuf, returned to the marketplace, but all he found was a field of soot and rubble. He asked around for Omar, the young goldsmith, but the townspeople just shook their heads sadly. "He lost everything," they said. "He probably left town to start over somewhere else." Yusuf's heart sank, believing the ring, his last connection to his wife, was lost forever in the fire. And in a way, the townspeople were right. Omar had left, but not out of despair. With nothing left but the clothes on his back and the ring in his pocket, he made his way to the nearby city, determined to rebuild his life from scratch. He could have sold the ring. It was valuable, and there were days he was so hungry he could barely stand. But every time the thought crossed his mind, he would look at the ring and remember his promise. "This is not mine," he would whisper to himself. "One day I will find its owner and return it." This promise became his moral compass. Years rolled by like a slow and steady river. Omar's journey was not easy. He started at the very bottom, taking any small job he could find. But his honesty and incredible skill could not be hidden for long. He found work in another jewelry shop, and soon his reputation began to grow. People marveled at his craftsmanship, his attention to detail, and his unwavering integrity. Before long, he became known as one of the finest goldsmiths in the entire region. One sunny afternoon, a wealthy merchant walked into Omar's now flourishing shop. The merchant wanted to commission a grand necklace, a piece fit for a queen. As they discussed the design, Omar politely asked for the merchant's name for the order. The man smiled warmly and said, "My name is Yusuf. I'm originally from the town where the old market burned down all those years ago." At the mention of that town, Omar froze. His heart began to pound in his chest like a drum. Could it be after all this time? His hand trembled slightly as he reached under his workbench to a small worn wooden box he had kept with him through all his struggles. He opened it, and inside, resting on a velvet cloth, was the golden ring, shining as brightly as the day he had finished repairing it. He pulled it out and held it up. "Does this," Omar asked, his voice filled with emotion, "by any chance belong to you?" Yusuf stared at the ring. His eyes widened in disbelief, and then they filled with tears that streamed down his face. "Yes," he whispered, his voice cracking, "my ring. I thought it was lost forever." Omar smiled a genuine, heartfelt smile and placed the ring into Yusuf's waiting hand. "It survived the fire," Omar explained simply. "I've been keeping it safe for you all these years." The merchant was completely speechless. He looked from the ring to Omar, his face a mixture of shock, gratitude, and awe. He took Omar's hands in his own and held them tightly. "Your honesty," Yusuf said, his voice thick with emotion, "is worth more than all the gold in this city. From this day forward, you will not be my worker. You will be my partner," and that is the story of how Omar, the poor goldsmith who once worried about buying his next loaf of bread, became the owner of one of the largest and most respected jewelry empires in the city. His success didn't come from a stroke of luck or a fortunate accident. It was built piece by piece on a foundation of integrity. He chose honor when he was starving, and in the end, that choice brought him a fortune far greater than he could have ever imagined. This story teaches us some powerful lessons. It shows us that honesty always finds its reward, even if it takes years to arrive. True wealth isn't measured by the money in your pocket, but by the integrity in your heart. It's a reminder that the hardships we endure are not just obstacles. They are the tools that shape our character and make us stronger. What is truly meant for you will find its way to you at exactly the right time. So do good, quietly and consistently, without expecting applause. Destiny has a way of speaking for you loud and clear when the time is right. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more content that inspires and uplifts. See you in the next one.